pessoal, eu estou aqui em Niterói, no simpósio de pensamento médico baseado em evidência, que eu tive o prazer de dividir as aulas com o professor Franz Borschoit, que é um alemão, que desenvolveu uma série de conceitos interessantes e diferenciados no pensamento médico baseado em evidência. E nesse vídeo eu vou conversar com ele a respeito de um conceito, de uma percepção que nós temos de que grande parte dos trabalhos científicos, dos artigos que a gente lê, tem uma mensagem que carece de veracidade. Vou perguntar a ele por que isso e a gente vai explorar essa ideia nessa conversa de alguns minutos. So Franz, thank you very much for being in Brazil. Thank you to Tanya that organized this symposium. It's a pleasure to learn so much with you. And it's important to bring your ideas to a more large public. That's why we are doing these videos. Yesterday we were talking about how many papers are false positive. So, and you have a technique to smell bad things in a paper. So I want you to say why so many papers are wrong and how should we in general smell problems that make the paper lack veracity.
Yeah. Luis, first of all, I would like to thank you, to come here, and also to Tanya, that we could organize this conference and have this beautiful and interesting discussions. Now you are really right. Many publications are wrong. And there are several reasons why these publications are wrong. Some people are not aware of the rules of clinical epidemiology, and they just forget to observe the important rules. Other people have a conflict of interest, and everybody who writes a paper is more happy when the result looks really nice. And sometimes it happens that the result doesn't look as nice as we would like to look. So, and some people, they improve their results a little bit by omitting some data or adding something which was not really present. So there are hundreds of techniques. You could help a little bit your data to look better. So the aim of this workshop we are organizing is to develop some kind of a smelling ability that you realize there must be something wrong.
Yeah, I feel that a clinician, the general clinician, is eager to be able to read the paper and detect the things, because then he or she could have his or her own opinion about things and not be, driven by others' opinion, and others' opinion might have conflict of interest, like the industry bringing you a paper that shows that drug works or not. So I feel that it's like a pain that for physicians not to be totally able to interpret a trial. People want very much to be able to do this. So how a clinical physician or person who works with health can read the paper and detect those problems?
So actually, it goes very fast. When you have some young people, medical students, in the 2nd to the 5th year, you invite them to have such a course, and I made the experience in Germany. It's much more fun to them when they are a group of 2 to 4 people, because then they stimulate each other and they motivate people to find the mistake, and it is some kind of a competition who will be first to identify a mistake. And I learned that these young people develop very lovely discussions.
Yeah, I think it should be as exciting as discussing a very interesting case, clinical case. We as physicians are used to discuss, and the more interesting the case is, the more excited we are. So I think that discussing articles should be a practice. As we do discussing clinical cases, we should discuss articles with the same excitement. And the way you put, I think it's very much this excitement way. But what if a physician is not part of a group? He's just, he opens the internet and there in the New England Journal of Medicine an article. It's at night. He will read that and to try to see if it's right or wrong, for the next day use that information or not. So in a fast way, how can he smell something's wrong?
This is really difficult. Without any advice from somebody who is experienced, it is really difficult to develop this ability to smell the mistake. So you as an experienced teacher, you have to show them a few examples how to identify and how these mistakes look like. And you will be surprised how fast they develop their own skills and abilities. And then they tell you they found mistakes you didn't see before.
Yeah, so I think that it's difficult in the beginning if you have no training, but with a very specific training of a few hours, people can start developing his or her experience. So each patient we see, we get more experience. Each article we read, it should be like experience. Like we have clinical experience and scientific experience. So if we set ourselves to read 1 or 2 articles a week, that's what I tell my students. We develop. We hypertrophy our brain in terms of that. So the use of checklists. Look for this. Do you think it's a good idea? Use this.
The checklist itself is not useful. It is the advice how to use the checklist and how to ask the questions. You know, a beginner is absolutely lost if you leave him alone with a checklist. And he loses very fast the interest to do this type of work. And most clinicians will tell you, we do not have the time to read the papers, we have no interest to do this type of analysis, and we lack experience in doing this. So if you help them to get started, they will be enough experience pretty soon.
Yeah, because when people don't know, they don't like.
Yeah.
But when they start to learn, they will like it more and more. And what you're saying is that a very specific training or following some journals that talk about this, or for example our blog, we try to do this. I feel that people get more and more excited.
Yeah. I mean, in Germany, many medical students write a doctoral thesis, and I would very much appreciate if they pick up how to analyze scientific articles, because this is a value they can use in their later professional life.
Yeah, so, em suma, o que a gente está conversando aqui, é claro que nós não somos originalmente treinados na análise crítica de artigo científico, mas o que Franz está dizendo é que com rápido treinamento a gente pode começar a ganhar experiência e isso se tornar muito interessante, muito excitante para quem faz. E a pessoa gostando, ela vai fazer cada vez mais, vai ficar cada vez mais capaz de ter sua própria opinião em relação às evidências científicas. Nós temos nossa própria opinião em relação às coisas importantes, como, por exemplo, eu vou votar no candidato A ou B, não é alguém que me diz que eu devo votar, não é um guideline que me diz. Eu quero ter a capacidade de julgar aquilo. Então, como profissional, é importante que nós tenhamos a capacidade também de julgar uma evidência científica que precisa de um treinamento básico, porém que não é algo mais difícil do que todas as outras coisas que, como profissional de saúde, a gente aprendeu a fazer. A gente tem que tentar desmistificar essa ideia de que isso é algo muito longe, muito difícil de conseguir. Pelo contrário, com o treinamento básico que o Franz está colocando, a gente pode chegar lá. Então essa é a mensagem que a gente queria passar. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Vielen Dank.